to the grid. You're ready for this?
Without doubt, the best place for overtaking.
What an incredible weekend.
We've seen history made. This is a game changer. It's a crucial race.
Well, hello everybody and welcome to the Austrian Grand Prix in PRL Division 1 today. We've had our week's break since Canada 2 weeks ago, and we're back straight into the action, into qualifying here. We've already had 4 minutes, just making sure before we start properly that everyone is in the lobby, everyone is in the stream all ready to go. And as you can see from on track, we're not just in dry conditions here, there is rain. And the man that is currently on provisional pole position and the driver who is currently the closest championship rival to this man in the Mercedes, Mitch Emery, who's just gone very wide into turn 3. Of course, that was turn 2 for the first few years of its return, and is now turn 3 due to the little kink before it. And it's McSendit then, the main championship rival to Mitch Emery, on current pole position in that Sauber, and he really does need to start scoring more points than his rival if he wants to keep the championship lead within reaching distance. Then it's currently, I believe, 26 points, but don't quote me on that. And he goes quicker again to a 1 at 12.002. And on the intermediates, as you can see, every single driver on the intermediate compound. And well then, it's very interesting. We've got most drivers setting a lap. In fact, every driver, apart from Lewis W03 in the Renault, in the pit lane. And yeah, so he'll need to get out soon. We've got PRL Gary Donegan, puts his Force India up into P12. Now let's have a look then. VGIA Michael himself and his former teammate, he's now left the league, I believe, Haribo, have had quite a few weeks break, but at least Michael today is back in his Ferrari, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. I think now he's not really a title contender. He's had quite a few races off, and in the races he did race at the very start of the season, they weren't his best, and we know that driver, the Greek god as they call him, is so quick. We've seen him compete in some of the esports things recently, and he's making his comeback to Precision Racing League right today. And have a look at that. Decky and Cookie Games, the Haas and the Red Bull, setting an identical lap as they both get jumped by VSR Marquez. So 11.5 minutes then to go. It's still McSendit, who's got his Sauber, Alfa Romeo Sauber, on the current pole position said position twice there, not quite meant to say that. And he's got a good 10th.5 gap to this man who's just come into the pit, Neo, who's also had a disappointing season by his standards, as he's only, well, he's very low down in the table, and I do know that. So Mitch Emery then, I was his former teammate, but as you know, I've jumped out the car for this season, at least, and I'm now in the commentary box, and I'm very much enjoying it. But I know that Mitch Emery is a very quick driver, especially in the wet. He is the current championship leader, and has got a good, decent points gap to the cars behind, to the drivers behind. But he's only P7 at the moment here in Austria. And he normally excels in these conditions, but he's struggling to unlock the pace at the moment. But what I do know he does is he seems to like to sandbag quite a lot in these conditions. As a personal friend of his, I've certainly learnt that over the years. Well, not quite the years, over the months, let's say. As you can see in the bottom left of your screen there, McSendit, improves his lap again and becomes the only driver so far to get into those 111s, a 111.920. So good start for this man in his Sauber. 4 laps, done the most laps of everybody, joint with VSR Marquez, who I understand from social media has now left hospital. He had to have a race or 2 off, I believe, due to him having pneumonia, I'm right in thinking. And very good to see him being discharged and back in the cockpit of that McLaren historic team, who in recent years have not had good luck, and I believe he's out of fuel at the moment as he's had a trip into the gravel there for him. And yeah, so first half of this qualifying session is done. We're now into the second half of it, and you can also see him extend it is out of fuel as well. Lewis pops his car up into P3 very early on in his laps because he wasn't out on track for quite a while. It's a good first 5 to 7 minutes, I believe. So he's put his Renault back into the contention now. And let's see then, what can these drivers do? As TTG Poe, who I don't believe is the current driver, as Lee Finley puts it up into P1 there, a 111.888. That is a good time from a driver we don't usually always see up there. He's been promoted from D2 just a couple of races ago, and he's now up there. Drivers starting to improve. VJA Michael being one of those as Rick retires, and not sure due to what. But who is Mitch Emery then? The in the Mercedes, the current championship leader with that Lewis Hamilton themed helmet. We know he loves that driver, Lewis Hamilton, and he's got a helmet dedicated to him. So turn your audio up and let's enjoy a lap on board with the current championship leader, Mitch Emery. And I believe Mitch Emery has backed out of that lap, not looking to improve too much at this stage, but he's got to be careful. Leaving too much on the table could be an issue if he messes up his later run in qualifying. So he's all the way down in P9, and not ideal for him. Decky, reigning champion, what can he do? We understand this really isn't his game this year. F1 2018 just not seeming to work with his driving style, I imagine. You can see drifting out there, and unfortunately for the reigning world champ, I don't think he's going to defend his world championship from the past 2 years in PRL. So it almost reminds me of one of those greats in real life F1 who in their later years just hasn't really been up to it. Kimi Räikkönen springing to mind, reminding me a bit of Decky here. Had a great couple of years, good few years to be honest, and he seems to really be struggling now, but who knows, he may make a resurgence later on in the season, or next season. Of course, 2 seasons on this game in PRL, and he's coming around the final corner now, misses the apex, however comes across the line. I don't think it's going to be anything special. It isn't, it doesn't even improve. 19 thousandths down. Now Lee Finley then in his Red Bull, he won by almost, well, I'd say about 2/10 to this man, the Greek god, VGIA Michael, who is making, as I said, his return to PRL, and is starting quite well. He's currently on the front row of the grid, and look at that, you got 2 Ferraris, and the sister team, the Sauber, sandwiched in the middle of those two, all 3 separated by 41 thousandths of a second, 400ths. And it's going to be interesting to see if Mitch can get up there. He's still in the pit lane, and he's coming out now actually, so that's good to see. This could really be interesting if Mitch has a poor weekend, which I'm pretty sure he's still got something left in the bag right now. But if he does have a poor weekend and his rival McSendit, the American, does get a good result, that could put him right back in it on nipping at Mitch's heels. He doesn't improve. I think he was going for a cooldown lap as he starts his lap now. Very aggressive. Oh, bit too aggressive, I'd say. Oh, that really is a bit too aggressive as he loses it on the exit, puts it onto the grass, and that is lap aborted for him in the Sauber. Right, Marquez's. The guy who's just recovered from his illness. What can he do then today? Won't be an improvement, but I think he's starting another lap now. Lewis as well is pitting, and he's going to have time to go again, but I believe only for 1 lap. I don't think he's going to manage to do more than that. He may do actually, who knows. Oh, that's not going to help. Oh, I think if that was real life, he'd have no front wheels there, but physics aren't great on this game, as we know, and that's not going to quite happen. So Mitch Emery then, current World Championship leader, and coming into turn 1, that is not like it for him. That is not how you take that corner very quickly in these conditions, and I think, yeah, he's backed off into the 0 for the ERS mode, meaning the least amount of deployment out of the 5 options you have. And Mitch has only got a couple of more laps to get that Mercedes up the field. Otherwise, this could be a nasty shock to the system for him if this goes wrong. And I'm not sure this is what he was planning. I can understand him sandbagging at the start, but this is not what he was hoping for. He was saving it all for the end, and he needs to get that run in. Otherwise, that sandbagging earlier on could really come back to bite him on the bum. And let's see then, Lee Finley still leading this session as he pops out the pit lane now, and the fans have got their ponchos on. With all the modern day technology, all you need to see is the fans' ponchos on, and it's raining then, isn't it? And it's not showing any signs of lightening up, as we got the current pole sitter, provisional pole sitter, Lee Finley, 04, on track now. VGIA Michael, I believe he is on a lap, so yeah, the Ferrari driver is on a lap. As I said, few races of absence for him, and he's back in the action, coming back with quite the bang. Oh, a spine. Goes ahead of his teammate and just 5 1/1000ths behind VGIA Michael. What about anyone else? Marquez's. What can he do? Coming across there, that could be invalidated, but I think he's just about got away. That looked good through there for the McLaren driver. He comes across the line. I don't think it's going to be enough for pole position, but it does improve, and he goes into P2, and he thinks that's enough. He would have had time for another one, but he thinks that's enough. I'm done for now. Thank you very much, and I'll have a bit of a couple of minutes break before the race, which is really, really crucial. And let's see then who else is on a lap. Neo looks like he's about to start his final lap whilst ending this lap. He goes P6. What about Mitch Emery? He's coming around the final corner. The current championship leader. No, that's really anticlimactic. He's got 1 lap to do it. Can he do it? Put it in the comments. Can Mitch do another better representative lap time? Because this is his final run now, and if he doesn't, he's going to be starting well down the order today. Gary Donegan in the Force India coming around the penultimate corner now, missing the apex. Not great from him. Khalek getting out of the way of most people. He's finished his final lap. He's only P13. Decky P14. He's about to start his final lap. Cookie Games on his final lap in the second sector now. Lee Finley, the current pole man, about to start his lap, I believe, or is on a lap. TTG Poe, sorry, goes provisional pole by 800ths of a second, and this man now in the Red Bull is no longer in the controlling seat, in the driving seat, and he's got one more lap to do. He crosses the line with just a mere few thousandths of the qualifying session to go. June, what can he do? Lewis also. What about Mitch? He's coming around the penultimate corner now. Neo goes only P9, just 2 thousandths behind McSendit, who's only P8. Mitch Emery comes across the line. It doesn't look amazing, and it's only P10 for the Brit in the Mercedes. That is catastrophic. June crashes coming into the penultimate corner. Vijay Michael and Lee Finley, second and third place now, currently occupying the final place of the first row and the first place of the second row now, second and third. What can they do? Joom has backed off. Lewis is also on a lap. Mitch and McSendit, the two title rivals, down in P8 and P10. PRL Gary Donegan, he comes across the line. He goes P10. Mitch now starting P11. Decky, what can he do? Decky comes across the line, the reigning world champion for the past 2 seasons, P13. Lee Finley, Michael goes P2, and Lee Finley coming around the final sector. It looks like TTG Poe has currently got pole position, but Lee Finley cannot do it, and it's TTG Poe who takes pole position out of nowhere. Michael and Lee could not beat him, and that is pole position for the McLaren. Wow, the two championship rivals down in P8 and P11. Catastrophic from them, and look how close that is. The track has got the shortest track time on the whole calendar, and that is proving its point there. 21 thousandths separating the top 3. Any of those just a slight upshift too early could have cost them pole position. And then we got a big 2/10 jump down to 4th downwards, but look at that. The American in his Sauber, the Brit in his Mercedes, are 2 championship rivals down in P8 and P11. Well, Mitch finds himself alongside McSendit, both in the mid-pack, both where the incidents happen. Hello everybody and welcome to the Austrian Grand Prix, located in Spielberg, 125 miles south of Vienna. It's 36 laps that make up this historic Grand Prix. The first World Championship Grand Prix held here was the 18th of August 1970. 10 corners make up this race circuit, with 7 to the right and just 3 to the left. 29 World Championship Grand Prix have been staged here at this race circuit, and the lap record is set by the Finn Valtteri Bottas in his 2018 Mercedes, a 1:3.130 with the average lap speed of 156 miles an hour. This qualifying session where he famously edged out his teammate Lewis Hamilton by 19 thousandths of a second. The current circuit length is 2.688 miles, and the driver with the most wins around here is a Frenchman, Alain Prost, with 3 race wins ranging from 1983 to 1986. This track is renowned for being the one and only time Williams have locked out the front row since the start of the turbo hybrid Tyre Bajira in 2014, and with 1 lap time around here being on average the shortest on the calendar, one mistake could really become quite costly. I cannot wait for this to get underway. Well, it's the ultra soft, super soft and soft tyre that Pirelli bring to this race venue, and it could really throw up a few spills here. We know how unpredictable this track is for the weather, and it's shown absolute havoc in previous years. On board with the pole man and a 1-2 for Ferrari. Wow, when was the last time we've seen that in this season? Well, certainly not that many. And look at this, Ferrari 1-2. They are both going to be hungry to get their first win this season. We got down in P8 and P11, the two championship rivals. They need to work their way up the grid, and this could really be a close race. No one knows who's going to win. Put your prediction in the comments section below. Who's going to win this race, and will there be any big surprises? Well, this turn 1, 90-degree corner, quite a long run into turn 1, and it could be quite an interesting one. The drivers are ready to go. I'm ready to go, and I hope you're ready to go as well. As the final few drivers, the Red Bull Cookie Games lines up on the grid, we get ready for the 5 red lights to come on for the Austrian Grand Prix. It's lights out. And away we go. It's a pole start from the front man of TTG Po. VJ Michael takes the lead from his teammate into turn 1, and Lee Finley squeezes him out. And it's a really poor start from the Ferrari into turn 1. He's now getting pressured by Joom in the Williams right behind. Can he go for any move? We don't know. It looks like it's all clean behind. And we've got Rick, who's all the way down in P15, last place. Mitch is trying to keep it clean into there as he doesn't want to lose any wing. And he's already down into 13th place. Senate keeping his position, and into turn 4. Oh, it's very close. We got 3 wide into for P3, for P2. TTG Po doing almost like a Valtteri Bottas move into there, and he's still got Joom. He's got to fight off into there, and he keeps it. Does Joom? Joom defends incredibly from him, and now Lee Finley squeeze it out. TTG Po, what a roller coaster first lap from him. Started pole, lost 2 positions, got back up to 2nd, back down to 4th. Lewis down the inside of VSR Marquez is a side by side into the final corner. Marquez gets him, it goes very wide, and now Lewis is going to be on the warpath as we got right behind PRL, Gary Donegan, Decky and Mitch Emery, all 3 wide into turn 1. Mitch has the corner cut, that'll be a warning, and he had to back off there. Everyone scrambling for position as we got McSendit. Is there going to be any orchestrated team moves into there? We don't quite know. Neo now makes a move on it, McSendit. So from trying to make the move to losing a move for the American. But it's VGIA Michael that takes the lead after turn 1. Yeah, really good start from him. Looks like this man was almost struggling under the pressure. We got a battle between Calic and Mitch. Mitch is all the way down in 14th. What a disaster for him. He needs to get through the field, and he does, disposing of Rick. And now we got a Red Bull. A Red Bull going very wide, coming back onto the track into Mitch Emery, the championship leader. And as Mitch got damage, that could very well be damage for the Brit in his Mercedes. He's now forcing the Red Bull out wide. That was an unsafe join back onto the track for the Red Bull. And now PRL Gary Donegan is looking on the back of Decky. Cookie Games now down the inside of Mitch. God, you don't want to get involved in this championship battle. That could get very fiery. As we've got Joom is really getting up to the back of Michael, and that could really be an interesting fight. We haven't seen Joom fighting at the top for ages. Same with Michael, to be honest. We've got yellow flags. I think there's Cookie Games is out, and another poor weekend from him. Decky now looking on the back of Gary Donegan. Can he make any move? What utter brilliant madness those first few laps have been, and now they're all starting to filter out. Kalik, Rick, both starting to hunt down Mitch, so Mitch, really poor start from him. And now Michael just got to control this race lead. Let's have a look. So the biggest gainers are Juma and Michael, and the biggest losers really TTG Poe, who started on pole and is all the way down in 5th. Let's have a look at what tyres they are all on. Michael has gone for the most aggressive out of the top 6 on the ultra soft compound. Everyone else behind in the top 6 on the supers, apart from this man, the pole sitter, TTG Poe. Perhaps why he had such a poor start, and surely that rings alarm bells. If I were him, why would you risk losing multiple positions off the start due to a slower tyre? It's so easy to do. That really reminded me of Valtteri Bottas' start. What a roller coaster for him. And it's Joom who's starting to hunt down Michael. Well, I didn't expect to see this just on lap 4. I know those ultra soft tyres degrade quickly, but I didn't think that quickly. And now the super soft runner of Joom is really getting quite close. He's easily within a second of the Greek, and it's all about staying there. As soon as Michael's tyres really do start to crumble, he'll be right on his rear diffuser. Lewis, can he make a move now on TTG Poe? Has he got damage, this Ferrari? He seems to be struggling so much. And he's the only one in the top 10 who's on the soft compound. And now he's got Lewis in the Renault, spoiling his party even more. Round the outside for the for Poe, and it's risky, and he's been taken out by Lewis. It's a big crash, big crash, and it's utter brilliant madness. Spoiling's been collected in that as well, and that has absolutely fallen into this man's hands. As we've also got battling, we got McSendit down the inside of PRL Gary Donegan. That was incredible. I think that looked like a bit of desync there, as sent TTG Poe into a spin by Lewis there. Just a bit of contact on the rear tyre. He was a goner. Yeah, really interesting to see there. And TTG Poe, who started on pole, he's lost 12 positions in just 5 laps. As well, I need to calm myself down, because look at Mitch now. There's no time to calm down. He's now on the back of Decky, as, excuse my voice there, he's right on the back of his fellow soft runner. We got more yellow flags. It's Lewis. Is that Lewis? It's Lewis, and he's gone very slowly. Has he had a spin? No, he's got damage. He peels into the pit lane, gets a penalty to add insult to injury for cutting the corner, and now hits the wall even more. Gets a 5-second stop go. That couldn't have got any worse, and he thinks he's going to call it a day, as TTG Poe also gets the penalty for speeding. Mitch now right on the back of Decky, the German. Is he going to send it down the inside? He does send it down the inside, does Mitch of Decky. That is a championship move, championship deserved move from him. Great move for Mitch, and now he needs to try and hunt down Gary, the Irishman, who's just about a second ahead, but Mitch having to go defensive from Decky into turn 4 there, and that's really hampered his line, but I think he's okay for now. Look at Joom. Mike's tyres are really starting to go off now. Those ultra soft compound not looking very durable, and now Joom. This is great to see 2 drivers that last season would be normal to see those 2 battling at the front. This season, an absolute anomalous result, but they're both battling at the front now, and Joom is looking like he's going to make a move anytime soon. Sorry, I keep having to take a drink. My voice is absolutely killing. Those first few laps were really crazy, and my voice being put to the test there. But McSendit also looking at Neo. These 2 on the warpath. Mitch Emery and McSendit both on the warpath to try and get up the positions as much as they can. Mitch is looking like, well, he's a leading soft runner, and that could really pay dividends later on, as every other driver on the ultras, I believe, will have to do a 2-stop. I'm not sure about that, but I think everyone ahead, even if they are doing the 1-stop, are really going to start struggling on tyres. Now Marquez is gaining on Lee Finley, who's gaining on Joom, who's gaining on Michael. They're all contracting up now, and this could lead to a 4-way battle for the lead on just lap 7 of this Austrian Grand Prix. They're all closing up to each other, and very, very close. Ooh, June making a bit of a mistake there. And now that's just going to give Michael in his Ferrari a bit of breathing space. And look at that, it's Marquez's down the inside of Lee Finley. Lee Finley's going to get the cutback and have a go with the DRS open. Can he make the move? He's pulling into the slipstream. He's gaining. Will he send it down the inside? No, he doesn't. But Marquez locks up a bit there, but I think he's just about safe. McSendit right on the back of Neo, can't do anything. Mitch Emery slowly but surely gaining on Gary, and it's Rick slowly but surely also gaining on Decky. But I'm interested in the top four here. They're all gaining out to each other. Lee Finley gaining to Marquez, who's gaining on Joom, he's gaining on Michael. As I said last lap, they're all about to come into one big battle, and now it's really gonna be a dogfight for the win. Joom seems to be running very low wings. He's on 1 on the low ERS setting as he picks up a penalty, gets stuck on that curb, and that's not going to help him whatsoever. He's done that 2 laps in a row now, and I do apologise for being quite loud, but wow, that first few laps, those first few laps have been absolutely incredible. As now we got McSendit down the inside of Neo. Neo, can he get the cut back? Oh, he's going to have DRS. He's got to open DRS first, which he isn't doing. Maybe he's got, I think, when it has no button on the bottom right, I think he's got a DRS issue as Neo, so that is really going to hamper him. No DRS for him, no drag reduction system, less drag on the rear wing. That will no longer come to his advantage. Catastrophe for Neo. That's really not going to help him. Well, he certainly opened DRS if he had no fault, and I can't. I don't think he's the kind of guy who just wouldn't open it by mistake. But is he going to open it now? Oh, he does. So maybe it was broken for a few laps and now is fixed. But Joom is looking very close to Michael. I don't think he's going to be close enough. It's the first time in the past few laps that he's actually almost ploughed into the wall after turn 1 on that curb, but he's right on the back of the Greek in that Ferrari. We saw him pick up a penalty last lap though. I'm already nearly a third into this race. Where has this race gone already? And now he's really, this is a prime opportunity for him. Michael's ultra soft compound, the purple striped Pirelli tyre really starting to go off now. Neo looking on the back of McSendit despite having that weird DRS full earlier on. Mitch is really not catching up to Gary. In fact, it's stayed the same for about the past 4 laps. Don't know what's happened to him. As we've got, well, look at Joom, he's right on the back of Mitch, and look at Marquez's, he's right on the back of Joom almost. And now will Michael pit? He doesn't. This could be the lap for Joom. Joom needs to get a good run out of here, which he does. Michael goes a little bit wide, and now Joom has got the DRS open and is right on the back of Michael heading into turn 1. Don't catch that outside curve onto turn 1, Joom, that's where you're losing all your time. He doesn't, takes it more conservatively. It's raining! It's raining at the moment. I didn't expect to see that. I saw it getting overcast, but now for the race lead, he's going round the outside. He's gonna go for the cutback. It's Joom on Michael, and now opening the DRS. That's why some of them, it was such a varied strategy. That's why Michael's staying out. Joom right on the back of Michael, round the outside into turn 4. He brakes, make sure he's got more grip in those tyres, and he's sticking around the outside. Michael keeping it in there. They're side by side, heading in towards turn 6 and 7. They're still side by side. They're still side by side. They're still side by side. And Michael holds on. Brilliant battle from those two. But now Joom's got a better run. Can he stick it in the slipstream and get anywhere near to him? I'm still keeping optimistic. I still think it could happen. And not quite. And this is turning into a big, big battle. The top 3 separated by just 8/10 of a second. Look at it. It's a train. Absolute train that Michael's creating with those ultra soft tyres. The only one of the top 4 on ultra soft tyres. The top 4 all on the super soft tyres, and those tyres are all quicker than Michael's ultra soft tyre. It's now raining. Mike will want it to be intermediate conditions as soon as he can. He's used up all of his ERS. Look at the bottom right of your screen. June sends it down the inside. Oh my gosh, sorry. June sends it down the inside, and there could be 3 wide going into here. Marquez's, let's go on board with him, because now he's getting on in the action. He's side by side. He's going to send it down the middle, perhaps. No, not quite. They're side by side of the Williams and the Ferrari. It's like a clone of last lap, and they're still side by side. Wow. Michael this time got the inside, and he's just about kept it, but how, I don't know. And wow, this is a really good battle then, and I cannot believe my eyes. Neo, he's not really doing anything on Sendit, nor is Mitch on Gary. Decky not really doing anything on Rick, so the battle is for the lead here. Who will come out on top before the pit stops, and after the pit stops, I suppose. Michael could also be in a really vulnerable position with him being right at the beginning of the pit lane. Now Michael's got a really poor run out there. June's got the DRS wide open. He's got overtake mode enabled. He's going to go round the outside into turn 3. He's ahead going into the braking zone, and he's done it into the braking zone. Michael, what can he do with the last bit of grip in those tyres? I don't think he can do anything, because now June is right ahead, and he's properly ahead now, and unless Michael goes for the dive on, which he doesn't tend to do, it could be over for Michael for now. And yeah, I don't think he's going to quite have it. He could have a good run, but he's got to go for it here. He does go for it here. It's all guns blazing down the inside. I didn't expect to see that. We know he's not in the championship fight, but I thought he'd be a little more conservative. But I'm loving it. Clean and really, really close racing. And now Marquez is right on the back. It could almost be 3 wide at any stage. Now June is now behind Michael. How's Michael come out on top there? Incredible driving from the Ferrari. And now June is looking like he's now more under pressure from Marquez's. This is incredible battling. He cannot get close enough to Michael into turn 1, and he's got a much better run though. Surely it is hit now, as he's going to look at it round the outside. Michael must be on his last bit of grip. June runs ABS also, I believe, so into here. He can brake a bit later than Michael anyway. He's going to go round the outside as June, and Michael doesn't get a very good run. And now Marquez is looking to swallow up Michael as well, just like June did to him. Michael going to go for it on June. June goes defensive. Michael's going to try and go round the outside. Surely not. Surely not. Not quite, but he's still in there. And into here. Can he go down the inside? Yes, he does. Of the Williams. This is incredible battling. And can he still keep it down the inside? He keeps it down the inside. On board with June. Can he stick it around the outside? He can. This is incredible. I must be absolutely bright red at the moment. I'm absolutely going mad. And into the penultimate corner. And he just about pushes Michael off. Just cleanly enough. Michael locks up into there. And now Marquez is past. And can Lee Finley capitalise on that? Really, really good battling. And now Marquez has to filter in behind Michael. He's got a bit of a poor run out of there, and it's now vulnerable to Marquez, but Michael's got the slipstream from June ahead of the Williams. Can Marquez keep it down the inside? Yes, he can. He locks up, make sure Michael doesn't have room to get back, and now Michael is getting swallowed up by everyone. He's getting swarmed by everyone, and this is catastrophic. Can't even get my words out now. Mitch is also right behind Gary. Mitch is going to go down the inside of here. Should be a plain simple move. Those softs are going to be far better than those more worn super softs right now. McSendit is now on the back of it himself. Oh my god, how's this happened? And he's brought Neo with him. So the top 6, let me have a look at this. The top 6 separated by just under 2 seconds. Can you believe it? I don't know where to look, because now Marquez is looking on the back of June. Lee is looking on the back of Michael. And Lee is really looking on the back of Michael as Michael decides he has to pit, because this is going to really hamper his race later on. Oh my god, I'm going to have to take a drink. I'm so sorry, my voice is absolutely killing. I'm probably going to come down with a sore throat now. This race has been absolutely incredible from these drivers. They've shown clean and absolutely wheel-to-wheel racing as we got June and Marquez. I'm sorry I missed that. Marquez gets past and gets a poor run out of there. But can Doom come back at him? He's not got the DRS open. So I think that just may be a glitch on my end. And can he go for it? He slams Marquez's into there. And I think that could be damage. I'm not sure. I think he may be okay. He slams Marquez's into there. And now, can he go for it on the McLaren? I feel like I'm in a dream. This doesn't feel like a real race. Incredible. I mean, this is a demonstration of what PRL is. Absolutely will-to-will, close and clean racing. And now Doom's got a pole run out there. Really pole run. Really lucky not to put it in the wall. I think he wants to pit, though. Can he pit? Oh, yes. I think he... Oh, no, he doesn't pit. So, Michael, let's go on board with him. Is he struggling out there? I think he is, because DRS isn't even enabled yet. Disabled yet. And look at... Send it, he's right in it now, and just a few tenths behind is Mitch Emery. The top 6 now, separated by just under 3.5 seconds. Michael now on the ultra soft runner of Neo, just like Michael, no grip left on those ultra soft tyres. I bet they regret starting on those compound now, as they couldn't, as in Michael's case, he couldn't even pull away, and Michael's now leaking time. Look at him, he goes very wide into turn 1, and I think that could have been a race deciding strategy. Look at that. These 3 started in the top 5. They're now in the bottom 3. Who would have predicted that then? Marquez's leads after returning from his injuries. He's back in that McLaren and he is showing what he's made of. Gary Donegan getting past his teammate Rick, who makes a mistake, and now Decky on Neo, who also makes a mistake on the ultra soft tyres, and now Mitch on McSendit, he's also made a mistake. All the ultra soft runners dropping like flies in terms of pace, and Doom hits a wall, and now Mitch is going to be right on his backside. I don't think he's got damage. I think he's got very lucky as Doom. Mitch is having a look at him into their McSendit pits from the top 3 there, and Mitch is right on the back of Doom. I think Doom concedes in the end because there's no point of fighting. He's going to lose more and more time. I think that could really be a bad move for those ultra soft runners, because look, it's still not wet enough on track, and McSendit makes a mistake, and this is really going to play into the hands of Mitch, who started on the soft tyres just like Rick Decky and Kalik, and now is probably the quickest out of the top 3 because he's on the least worn tyres. This is really, really an amazing race. My personal favourite by miles this season. And now Mitch is looking to hunt down the top 2. Wow, what a race this has been. Wow. Time to catch my breath whilst people aren't as close. Oh, Liam Marquez, both pit. Has Mitch made a mistake, or have those two made a mistake? And really, really interesting. Where will they where will they rejoin? McSendit's lost so much time, and I don't think he's going to be anywhere near the top of the of the standings right now. And where is he going to rejoin? We're on board with him. They pitted for ultra soft tyres. That's dry tyres for the two, for Marquez's and Lee Finley. And now we got Neo and Michael. Neo gets past Michael on the dry tyres. Wow, that is a mistake then, clearly, for them. And I'm absolutely worn out. And we're just over halfway through this race, as now we got TTG Poe, Michael's teammate, and wow, who'd have thought we'd have seen this. And now Doom is getting pressured and being passed by Neo. It's nowhere near intermediate conditions, it seems. And this, oh, Kalik's gone off. Oh, Kalik's gone off the track there. Really not good from him. Oh wow, I'm absolutely done in. This race has been incredible. And now we see Mitch, who, let's have a look at this, started P11, is now P1, and look, the top 3 have all gained 10 positions from their starting positions. Who'd have thought that? I mean, this has been an incredible race. These top 3 drivers have proved the points are served out on Sunday. And now Neo on McSendit. Neo easily gets past McSendit. McSendit in the races, these crucial mid-calendar races where he needs to be getting points hand over fist on. Mitch Emery cannot be affording to, at this rate, be losing 21 points to the Brit in his Mercedes. Wow. I mean, to take a drink every minute at this stage because my voice is literally about to go. I've never shouted so much, but it still doesn't look like it's anywhere near being time for inters. And even if Jeff is gonna say no, it's gonna keep raining at this rate, it's still not gonna be time for inters. So Mitch is gonna have to pit at some point. Like the top three, they're all gonna have to pit at some point. Otherwise, well, they're just gonna get disqualified. You have to pit twice and dry compound of tyre conditions. So wow. Where do we begin? TTG part. You're not even giving me a chance to have a break. They both drift out the final corner. Gary Donegan cannot get past TTG Po, and I think it is really time for these intermediate drivers to give up and put on the dries, which is exactly what Michael has done. He's put on the ultra soft compound. He knows those ultras can go to the end. But really, really poor strategy call from those guys on the inters. But I can see why it happens. And really, really unfortunate. And how this race has turned on its head. Gary coming back at TTG post. So maybe those intermediate tyres are starting to come back into their own. The DRS has been disabled. Oh my God, Michael. No way. He pitted too early for the inters. And always getting forced out his Po by Gary Donegan. He pitted way too early for the inters, and as soon as he pits for the drive, the DRS is disabled. Can you get any worse? Now Joom on the back of TTG Po. Mitch has pulled off an incredible strategy call. Kalik and Neo. Oh, Neo's mugged Kalik off there going into the pit lane because now Kalik's gonna have to double stat behind him. Mitch is gonna have the lead by miles now. He's got at least a 5. In fact, he's got about a 7-second gap, if not more. And where is McSendit gonna filter out? McSendit is already on the inters, so I didn't think about that. McSendit's now into P2. I don't know if his tyres are gonna go to the end. I highly doubt it. Michael picks up a penalty. Decky can't do anything on. Oh no, McSendit's gone wide. No, McSendit. Oh. Catastrophic from him. He's gone from P2 to P4 in just one corner. He's coming back at Rick then. What can he do? He's going to force Rick out just enough, just cleanly enough. Absolutely incredible race. But McSender, we thought his race was over. How many laps has he done on this set of tyres? That's what I want to know. He's only done 4, so he probably could go to the end, which would be a really good strategy call from him. And absolutely incredible race. Well, Michael's pop, that's full wets on that thing. It's hit the same race venue as us. What? It's certainly not full wets, although actually that rain looks to be getting heavy. Oh my, this race, oh my God. I'm just having a look at the comments. I do apologise about my voice cracks. It's because I'm shouting so much. My voice is under a lot of strain, and being my age, you know, those things tend to happen. But it's going to full wets, it looks like. So how is this happening? This is just an incredible race. And if you want an example of a lead, it's back again. Oh my God, these voice cracks. Decky now forming a train from P2 to all the way down to P8. Oh my God, so it's no longer for the lead, but it's for second position, and that is really close. It's about, I'd say about 3.5, 4 seconds separating the 6 of them. Really, really close. My voice, if I wake up with a functioning voice tomorrow, I will be absolutely flabbergasted. But this race is nowhere near thinking of calming down any bit. We're 2/3 into this race now, 1/3 of it left to go, and the battle for P2 is on. And wow, McSendit on the back of Decky. who's being followed by Rick, who's being followed by Marquez, who's being followed by Gary. As we've got yellow flags, is that Michael? It's Michael. And what a really unfortunate weekend from him. Started P2, was in the lead, and how his race has gone down the gutter. Really unfortunate from him, and a race to forget on his comeback. Decky, who I was saying has had a poor season, he's all the way up into P2. What I have to say, Decky has been overall all season probably one of the best, if not the best, racing driver in terms of in the race. He starts down the order and manages to stay up. Michael has crashed again. This is so uncharacteristic. He's now being lapped by Mitch Emery. Michael, who was the championship leader going into the final race last season, finds himself in last place being lapped by the leader. He didn't expect, no one expected him to be in this position, and really unfortunate to see how someone's season can really go down the gutter. Let's send it right on the back of Decky now, and Marquez is right on the back of Rick. We've had the change of the lead of the race about 10 times, in fact I reckon more this race, as we got Marquez is down the inside of Rick, number 69 down the inside of number 24, and now Lee Finley on the back of Gary Donegan. Can he make a move? Just going to check, no battling down there, so Lee Finley, you're free to be broadcasted to go down the inside of Gary. A really good move from the Red Bull there. He's had a good weekend, and that is definitely heavy rain, I think, now. But look at this train for P2. McSendit needs all the points he can. A 7-point loss to Mitch is really not good enough, but it's damage limitation at this stage of the race. Hats off to Mitch. He's managed to... hats off to Michael. Not giving up on this race. He may be last, he may be a minute behind the next driver, but he's keeping going. Real determination, grip, and grit shown by him out there today. Really nice to see that if you're even having a bad race, you don't give up, and that's a good example to other drivers. It's now heavy rain. You can see there's 10 laps to go. Will it be long enough to transition to the full wet, the extreme wet compound? And this has been such a good race. And I'm speechless, honestly. My voice is going, and I don't know what to say apart from enjoy this race. This race will go down in the archives of PRL history as one of the best ever. It's been really good and really nice to see some clean, close, and just absolutely amazing racing. And that is looking very heavy rain. Could it be stormy conditions where they bring out the safety car for conditions? Juma has to pit, not great from him, and Decky goes a bit out of shape through there, as does Lee Finley. McSendit he's way too far back to think about making a move now on Decky. Decky does decide to defend, but these guys are so close that none of them can seem to get close enough in these conditions. That is definitely heavy rain. That could even be stormy conditions. A safety car now would make this race even better than it already is. And Mitch, well, that would not be good for Mitch. He's now leading by 7.8 seconds. I said in qualifying he excels in these conditions, and it's proving why now. He didn't quite show it in qualifying, but in the race he is looking like a man on the mission to get his second world championship in PRL history. What a race this is to go back on this season. I can guarantee you in 12 race weekend time the drivers will look back on this race as one of the greatest of the season. I can guarantee that. The Austrikering, this has really not have failed to impress. And look at this now, McSendit, Marquez and Decky all battling for this P2 position, and with 8 laps to go, they're going to start getting desperate. They've proved that they can race, but how can they now just get those positions? Marquez sends it down the inside. I've got no voice left to even shout, but Marquez goes for it. Very late move there, bit too ambitious, and it's lost time for McSendit as well now, and I can guarantee Marquez will send it down the inside of turn 4. Of course he does, into turn 4, down the inside, and now he's on the warpath for Decky. So McSendit going even further back in this race, and is now at this stage losing 13 points to his championship rival Mitch. Really not what he wants. I have not got enough voice to shout now. I'm going to give you the best commentary for the final 8 laps I possibly can. Mitch will come across the line in a couple of seconds to start his 29th lap of this Grand Prix. And McSendit has to pit. No! Is he going on to the full wets? With 7 laps to go, it may well be a good decision if everyone else has to pit. Has he asked Jeff? Will it lighten up in the rain though? Because if it doesn't, that really could be... If it lightens up later on, that could really be a bad strategy call. He's risking it now. He's giving it all or nothing. If he nails this strategy, he's now on the full wet. If he nails the strategy, he could be right back in the sounds quite ambitious, but he could be right back in the race for this lead against his championship rival. Oh, Marquez is down the inside. I'm so sorry for missing that on Decky. Marquez is really sharp, quick moves today, clean as well for the majority of them. Really, really good racing. And if anyone did put their prediction in the chat and got this right, I will pay you £100, because I don't think anyone could predict Mitch gaining 10 positions from his starting position, leading the race now by 9 seconds, with Marquez gaining 2 positions. Oh, we got yellow flags. What's that for? It's from VJI Michael. Oh, getting out of the way, I suppose, but that's really unfortunate for him. Let's go on board with McSendit. He's gaining time hand over fist. This could be a late resurgence for the American in his Alfa Romeo Sauber. I think all the drivers are now struggling on their intermediate tyres. Marquez looks on the quicker out of all the drivers on the intermediate tyres. Thank you for all you guys viewing this tonight. It's been an absolutely amazing race, and sure to keep on delivering. The final 6 laps are now on the we're now in the final 6 laps. Marquez is gaining a lot on Mitch, who's, well, saved up to 100% ERS, so that may say why. As we now got Lee Finley really close to Rick. Can Lee get down the inside of Rick? Can he? Oh, it's very close. Bit of wheel to wheel contact there. Rick keeping it down the inside, but being the organiser, he's genuinely just normally quite a lot cleaner than the average, due to obviously trying to set an example. Doesn't go for anything too rash into there, and a really good move from Lee then. And Decky starting to struggle. When did these guys pit? They pit on lap... most of them pitted on lap 23, but look at Gary, he's kind of falling back. But 5th and 6th for the 2 Force Indias, that's really good to see from them. But McSendit is definitely gaining. I think it's too late for the likes of Mitch, Marquez, Decky, Lee, Rick and Gary all to pit now for wets, and I feel this could have been a poor strategy call from McSendit. Yes, he's gaining, but he's got 5 laps to go to catch just 10 seconds just alone to the car ahead, so that is going to be a tough ask. Lee down the inside of Decky. Decky really struggling at this late stage, and now is getting swarmed by the cars behind him. Ricky Rich is now getting on the back and now ahead of Decky, going into the braking zone. Decky just not got the grip to brake later, but he's saved up to pretty much 100% ERS. In fact, everyone has, to be honest, so it's not just Mitch, who I said earlier had done it. It seems to be everybody. And wow, I think I'd have to give this race rating a 10 out of 10. Give me a better race than this that you could hope for. We've had mixed conditions, gone from dry into wets. We've had about 10 different changes for the lead, and we've had at one stage the top 5 being separated by just over a second and a half. What more could you want? This race has been one of the best I've ever seen and ever commentated on, and I imagine one of the best I will ever see and commentate on. It's been truly incredible to commentate on, really lovely to see, and thank you for everyone. We've had quite a high viewing count today, so thank you for tuning in. And wow, really incredible race. Drivers putting on a show. McSend I said it could be a bit of a tough ask to catch up, but him and G are now just 5.5 seconds behind Gary, and about a lap ago it was 10 seconds, so they're really gaining hand over fist now on the cars ahead. He's the only one not to be pretty much on 100%. These two guys on the full wets, the only guys to be pretty much not on 100% then. And Marquez's really good result from him. If it stays like this, sorry, my voice is already giving up at this stage. But yeah, Marquez's, after recovering from pneumonia, we're all very happy. He's all well and healthy now, and is putting up on a great show. Let me guess, is it Michael? No, it's not actually. I believe it's Kalik on the Inters, and he's being pushed around by TTG Po, who's kind of trying to get past. Wow, that's getting aggressive into turn 7, and Kalik not wanting to give up that position. McSend now just 2.5 seconds behind Gary, so a late resurgence with, well, a lot of these guys. The battle for 4th, top from 4th to 6th being separated by about a second. That could really be P4 for McSend on the cards here today. It's only going to get more dominant for those full wet tyres. And you may be bored of me having my drink of water, but when my voice has been under so much strain, it's pretty hard not to. And I think that heavy rain is looking like it's getting to light rain now in this dying stage of the race. McSend it starting to struggle. The drivers kind of on their last few laps, lacking concentration, you'd have to say now. Mitch Emery, he's dominated this race since, I'd say, everyone pitted for the Inters, and a really interesting race it has been, and a fascinating. I could not sum up this race in less than 3 words. Really interesting then. So, last couple of laps then, this man, the championship leader, looks like he's about to extend his championship lead quite drastically to the P7 of his championship rival, McSend. And, wow, really interesting. Look at that, P4 to P7 now, separated by a mere few seconds, in fact a couple of seconds. Really great to see then. Well, it looks like McSend on those full wet tyres still looking quicker, and it looks like it should be a slam dunk move down the inside of Gary, even though it's now light rain. No, McSend picks up a penalty that could really hamper him, and unfortunate from him right at the end. That's quite sad to see. And he looked like he could perhaps get into the top 4 position. And looks like that penalty could prevent him from that happening today. Right at the end as well. But those full wets are still quicker despite it being intermediates. Oh, that's Zoom into the wall there. He was running in a points paying position, was the Williams, and now TTG Po is going to take double his points, say thank you very much, and into P9. So Zoom has gone from P9 to P11 there, deciding to press the reset to track, which people don't usually do. And well, Send it now on the back of Decky. Can he make the move? June picks up a 10-second penalty for exceeding track limits, and not good from him. Can he get past Decky in the Haas? Sorry, I know my commentary's been a bit lackluster for the final few laps, but I'm giving it all I've got. He's going to send it down the inside as send it. All these points count, even if there's a chance of him not keeping it. All these points really do count, because he's losing at this stage 15 points to his championship rival. He was already around 26 behind. He's going to be about 41 points behind at this stage. I'm not going to check penalties. I want that to be the mystery at the end. But well, they fought to the end. It's been ham and tong all throughout the race, but since they put on those intermediate and full wet compounds, Mitch Emery has dominated the race and extends his championship lead at the front and wins the race. Marquez comes home in P2 with Lee Finley taking a really good podium result out of that, and Rick comes home for a really nice P5. McSendit gets demoted down to P6 after his penalties have been applied, and now Gary comes home for a very good P7. Neo P8. TTG Poe looks like he's going to be in P9, and Spine in P10. 9th, 10th and 13th started in the top 4 on the grid, ended in the final 4 positions. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Not good for him. Kalik, a bit like Fernando Alonso in Abu Dhabi, tracking, extending the track there, doesn't really count for here. He doesn't care anymore. But it's not Lewis Hamilton. Wow, it's Mitch Emery in the Mercedes. That's why he's in the Mercedes with quite a similar helmet. Wins and extends his lead at the front. And it's a dominant win at the end of the race for him. And, well. This could become a really interesting season. If we have races like that, well, I will be a very happy commentator. So Mitch had a 26-point advantage. It turns to a 43-point advantage now, and well, really unfortunate there. But it is Mitch who wins, with Marquez in second, Lee Finley third, Rick fourth, Decky fifth, McSendit sixth. Really poor race from him. Gary 7th, Neo 8th, TTG Poe in 9th, Spine 10th, Karlik 11th, June 12th, and Michael rounds off the grid in P13. Not good from him. Let's get the podium interviews into the party. I want to hear what they've got to say. Let's invite them then. So let's have a look. Let's try and invite them then. And I think, well, no, I think I'm alright. Internet seemed to have gone a bit strange there, but there we go. Right, let's get them into the lobby. Let's get Decky. Let's get Odom's / Marquez's. No. God, hang on, let me see if there are my players met. No, they're not. Okay, let's just bear with me for a second. Get Mitch, of course. Get Lee Finley. Let's get Michael into the party as well. And finally, VSR Marquesas. Let's get them into the party then. I'm pretty sure they were the top 3, and then obviously a couple of other drivers who had quite interesting races. Hello, Mitch. Yes, this is streamed, yeah. So just be a bit careful on what you say. But
Okay.
we'll start with you then, seeing as you're... Oh, we got rustling from Marquesas. Seeing as you're the first guy to join the party and you're the race winner, looked like a pretty dominant race after the... Thank you for that, Marquesas. After the pit stop for the wet and intermediate compounder tyre, you extend your lead in the championship to 43 points to extend it. And incredible race. Tell us about it.
I don't know how I won. Honestly, I haven't done a wheel of this track all year, so I don't really. I've got a bit lucky, not very well. I thought everyone was going sauce, but everyone went on like ultras and supers, so I was a bit confused. But yeah.
Yeah, Dickie, we are live, so just be careful. Yeah, really well done, Mitch. Yeah, Mitch, really good result from you there today, and you extend your lead to 43 points and on to Britain. Yeah, Britain. So we'll go to next Marquesas. P2 was it or P3?
2.
P2. So obviously really good result. You showed a lot of grit out there on track, coming back from your illness. What a way to rejoin to PRL.
Yeah, that was actually a really decent race for me. I barely had one of those. So, unfortunately, I could have won if Mitch didn't fucking come out of nowhere. But, oh well.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't really complain about P2. That was a really good drive from yourself. A lot of punchy moves and clean, I'd say, 99% of the time. And P2 for you. We'll go to Decky then. Were you P3? You were P3. Okay.
No,
All right. Anyway, you did well, so we'll just say that anyway. P5, we'll just say, yeah. Good result. Tell us about it from your perspective.
I mean, from strategy point of view, it really was a good race, but looking at my pace, I'm losing like a second in that one fucking braking zone. I mean, how should
Oh my God.
how should you even try winning a race? When
Yeah.
you, like, I got overtaken by 2 cars in one corner because I was that fucking slow.
Yeah, well, not the greatest race from you, but I think anyone could have won that about the midway through the race. It was so close. But thank you for that, Decky. Michael, you started second. It was a Ferrari 1-2 and it ended in a Ferrari 9th and 13th. You looked like you were struggling out there for grip. Was the car feeling okay, or were you struggling?
I haven't heard your sweet voice in ages.
Yeah, it seemed to escalate quite quickly with the weather because went from like from dries to inters for about 20 laps and then wets right at the end. So really unfortunate from you there, Michael, because at the start you took the lead and on the ultra soft tyres, of course. I imagine you thought that it was going to be inters quite early on when it started raining, but obviously the rain. The game was thinking otherwise, but really unfortunate on your return to PRL after quite a few races of absence. But it was positives that you had good pace in qualifying at the start of the race as well.
Wow, alright then.
Yeah. Yeah, probably were in the end, but you managed to take your Ultrasoft about 17 laps, so that was really impressive to see as well. But to you four in the party and everybody else in that race, you gave us an absolutely incredible race to spectate and commentate on, so I thank you for that. And I'll see you next week in Britain. It was a really good race to watch, so thank you for that, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, goodbye.